Okay, here's help with tonight's homework 3-6 skills practice using the Pythagorean theorem. Problem number 5 asks how far apart are the two cities, Lakeview and Avon. They're separated by this distance c, and they've shown us a right triangle. So according to Pythagorean theorem, we can solve for c using this formula: a squared plus b squared equals c squared. The legs of the triangle are a and b, so 19 squared plus 41 squared equals c squared. 19 squared, you can use a calculator on this homework. 19 squared equals 361, and 41 squared equals 1681. If you add those together, you'll get 2042 equal to c squared. To solve for c, the inverse operation for squared is square root. So square root of 2042 would equal c. So if we're saying c squared equals 2042, square root of 2042 means what number times itself would equal 2042. So the square root of 2042 on my calculator gives me 45.188,494, and it keeps going. On the directions for the homework, it tells you to round to the nearest tenth. So the number in the tenths place here is 1. The number to the right of it is 5 or greater, so I round that 1 up to a 2. So my answer is 45.2. The units were miles. 45.2 miles. Looking at the diagram and putting that number in to make sure it seems reasonable, it is greater than either of the legs, and it seems like a reasonable number, so that checks out. The other problem I want to do is number 7. Now here we're solving for one of the legs. We know the hypotenuse and one of the legs, but we don't know the other leg. How tall is the table? So the height of the table plus this and this leg form a right triangle with this distance of 40. So c equals 40, a equals 30. We're going to use a squared plus b squared equals c squared, Pythagorean theorem. So 30 squared plus the other leg is h, the height of the table. 30 squared plus h squared equals c squared, which is 40 squared. 30 squared is 900, 30 times 30, plus h squared equals 40 squared would be 1600, 40 times 40. To solve for h, we subtract 900 from both sides of this equation, and we get h squared equals 700. We solve for h by taking the square root of 700. And on my calculator, the square root of 700 is 26.4575. Rounding to the nearest tenth place, the digit 4 is in the tenths place. The number to the right of the 4 is 5 or greater, so we'll round up to 26.5, and our units were inches. Let's put that in for the height and see if that looks reasonable. 26.5 inches. It's less than the hypotenuse, which it must be. That looks like a reasonable number, so that checks out. Okay, I hope that helps with that homework, and I'll see you in the morning.